Good evening, everyone. In today's session, you will understand the asset impairment process in Onfinity ERP. The objective enables you to understand the concept of asset impairment and its associated terms in the context of business processes. The prerequisites for creating an asset impairment in Onfinity ERP include having a configured tenant in your environment, configured organizations in your tenant, and assets defined in the system with cost and other relevant details. Asset impairment in Onfinity ERP is the process of reducing the book value of an asset when its recoverable value falls below the carrying amount recorded in the system. It ensures that the financial statements reflect the true and fair value of the asset. Impairment may occur due to physical damage, technological obsolescence, market decline, or legal restrictions. The system allows you to adjust the asset value and recalculate depreciation based on the impaired amount. For example, a company owns a Hyundai Creta car recorded at 15 lakh. Due to an accident, its market value drops to 10 lakh. In Onfinity ERP, an asset impairment transaction is recorded to reduce the asset value by 5 lakh, and future depreciation is calculated on the reduced value. Let's move on to the system and create an asset impairment record. You can search for the asset impairment screen using the menu search utility, or you can directly move to asset management. Under fixed asset management, you can find the asset impairment enhancement screen. Open the screen and click on New Record. Select the organization in which you want to record the impairment. Enter the document number, or the system will generate one automatically based on your document type selection. Select your document type, enter your transaction date and account date, and provide a short description about the record. From the drop-down field for impairment enhancement, select Impairment. The currency and currency rate type will be auto-populated by the system and used when your asset values are in a different currency based on your organization and accounting book. The fields for actual asset value, current carrying value, impairment loss, and document status are system-maintained and will be updated automatically based on the transaction. Save the record. Move on to the Impairment Enhancement line tab and click on New Record. Select your asset group and asset. For example, select Hyundai Creta 111. Based on the asset selection, the product or charge and the current value will be auto-populated by the system. Enter the impairment loss. In our example, 5 lakh, which reduces the asset value to 10 lakh. Save the record. In this way, you can create multiple impairment lines if required. Once you have entered all the lines, move back to the header and complete the record. Once completed, the impact is reflected in the asset register. To see the accounting consequences, click on the Not Posted button. If the system shows that the period is closed, you can open the period by going to the Fixed Asset section selecting Open Period and saving. Once the period is open, go back to the asset impairment record and click on the Posted button. The document gets posted, and you can view the accounting consequences. You can see that the asset revaluation reserve is debited by 5 lakh, while the vehicle ledger code is credited. Now move on to the asset register to check the consequences of this transaction. You can search it from the menu search utility or directly move to asset management. Under fixed asset management, open the asset register. For the asset Hyundai Creta 111, where the impairment loss entry was done, you can see that the capitalized value has changed from 15 lakh to 10 lakh, and the written down value also reflects 10 lakh. If you want to check from which transaction this change occurred, click on the Expense button and you will be able to see the details showing which transaction caused the change. Since the asset values have changed, you need to update the asset schedule. To verify, you can first check your current schedules. For example, 38,000 and 75,000. To update the asset schedule, go to Asset Management And under Fixed Asset Transactions, click on the Generate Asset Schedule process. Select the organization where the assets are available, select the asset group, and select the specific asset. Under the Reschedule option, choose either Prospective Period or Retrospective Period, and then click OK. The system will update the asset schedules based on the revised value. Now move back to the Asset Register and click on Asset Schedule again. You can see that the depreciation schedules are reduced. Instead of 38,000, it becomes 25,806, and for the next schedule onwards, instead of 75,000, it becomes 50,000. That is how the system updates the asset schedule after recording an impairment loss. That's all in this video. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.